Just thinking. I notice surfing on YouTube, surfing on the internet, a lot of producers, a lot of people that want to be mix engineers, are constantly asking the same one question repeatedly: how much EQ, how much compression, how much of this, how much of that? What settings do you use? I use the settings that I use. What you should be asking yourself is, what settings should you use? The same settings that I use, or the same settings that someone like Swiss Beats or Metro Boomin or 808 Mafia use, are not always going to work for you. So stop asking other producers what settings do they use. Those are their settings. They're not going to work for you. If anything, they could tell you what the settings are. You could start out with a good mix, and you can use those settings. And who to say that using those settings is going to make you sound great? They might make your mix sound terrible. They might turn your good mix into a horrible mix. So, with that being said, here's some logical input that I actually went on YouTube and researched. So, producers, if you want to grab a pen and some paper and take notes, if you even want to grab your smartphone and jot it down. EQ and compression. Here's the trade secret. Use your ears. That's right. Use your ears. Listen to your mix. Once you finish making a beat, once you sequence it, once you track it out, listen to it. That's all it takes. Listen to it. Then start adjusting your levels. Do your panning. Throw an EQ here, EQ there. And listen. That's the problem with a lot of people that say, oh, I'm a producer. But your beats and your music sound bad. You can't be a producer if you have a horrible sound. If you sound terrible, you can't be a producer. So again, use your ears. These things right here on the side of your head. Someone told me a long time ago, you have two ears, one mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk. So, on this particular note, everybody that's trying to learn or get into music, or is already in music and trying to figure out why their stuff doesn't sound as good as everybody else's, is because you're worried about everybody else's sound. Don't try to sound like everybody else. Try to sound like yourself. Find your own sound. The only way you can find your own sound is to use your ears. In music, your ears are your greatest asset, your greatest weapon, your greatest piece of equipment. Now, I will give you some key points on some things or some plugins that you can use to help your ears or back your ears up with getting a good sound. I learned this from watching a producer by the name of Needles on YouTube. When it comes to hi-hats, now I'm giving out secrets that I use in my mixes. When it comes to hi-hats, I used to use reverb on my hi-hats. to help give it that shine, that pristine. I know a lot of producers say to use a transit master or a compressor or a limiter to give it that, but I don't like using a lot of compression or a lot of EQ on my sound. I like getting the levels right so everything sounds clean and clear. But I watched this video and he was talking about some key things that he uses, and he said he uses a flanger on his hi-hats. So I went and tried it, and if you do it right, it sounds good. But again, you have to use your ears. What's another key point that I can give? Kicks and 808s. You don't want to sit the kick and the 808 in the same frequency range when EQing. Another key point. Compression is good if you know how to use a compressor. A lot of people put compressors on because they've been told to use a compressor on their drums, and they squash the sound and their drums don't hit hard, or their 808 and their kick don't hit hard. I do not use a compressor on any of my drums. Snare, clap, hi-hat, crashes, cymbals, toms, kicks, 808s, no compressors. I'm not going to tell you what I use, but I don't use compressors. What I do use is my ears and EQ and adjusting my levels. So if you like this video, if you got some helpful advice out of it, comment below, share, like, tell your friends, tell everybody. I will be making more videos. See you when I see you.